Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks, whichever it is for you. Ryan here from Reclaiming the Sword. I know it's been a while, as it always is nowadays, but I thought I'd just go ahead and give some quick thoughts on some recent developments within the church. Okay, stuff that everyone's talking about, and I know you already know what I'm going to talk about, which is the document about blessings. Okay, blessings. So, first of all, I'd like to ask the question. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to ask that question yet. So I get the sense that for all the folks out there that are telling me, whether they're priests or bishops or they're just Catholic YouTubers, that are telling me that the document doesn't say anything about blessing same-sex marriage, and that's not actually happening, and that it's defending the teachings of the faith, and that I'm being told that the document really isn't for me, the laity, it's for the clergy, and that I don't really understand it, and I'm just knee-jerk reaction because of the media, whether that media is CNN or New York Times, or if it's a Catholic YouTuber or a radical traditionalist, which I really hate that term, because it's like we use these pejoratives against each other. We're one church, okay? So there's no such thing as a radical traditionalist. There's people who are traditionally minded and those who generally aren't, and whatever. Okay. So with that said, I'm being told that I don't really understand it, but yet they do. And that, like I said, that everything's being defended and nothing's really changing. Okay, well, one, if the purpose and meaning of blessings is not being changed, then why did we need a document telling us that? Because if you're just some Joe Schmo walking down the street and you happen to see a Catholic priest and you come up and say, "Father, can I have a blessing?" Generally, you're going to get a blessing. You might ask, well, what is the blessing for? Okay. Now, if it comes up to you, if you come up to a priest and said, "Father, I'm in a relationship with my sister. Can I have a blessing for our relationship?" Well, that's going to be a big fat no, isn't it? Okay. So, what does the document really say? I mean, we didn't need a document to tell us that that's a no-go, right? So what does the document really say? It's not that hard to figure out, okay? I did read it, okay? So I'm a little tired of being accused of having my opinion and not reading it. I read it. My wife read it. She read it in like 30 minutes, okay? And it's littered with contradictions, like every other paragraph. It's contradicting itself. But besides that, and I'm driving right now, so it's not like I can pull it up. Section 3, like the first two lines, it pretty much says, the blessing of same-sex couples. So what exactly am I missing about this? And for all the Catholic YouTubers and theologians and clergy that are of the mind that this is a scandalizing document, that it's using purposeful ambiguity, even though the document claims that it's trying to dispel confusion by pretty much adding confusion. What about them? Do they just not understand? Are they just not smart enough either? So, I was listening to Michael Knowles, and I don't think Michael Knowles has a very good take on this either, but he did make one good point, is that Pope Francis, and I pray for him every day for his conversion of heart and mind, okay? Pope Francis does what politicians do, like Barack Obama or Bill Clinton would do, which is they walk into a room and they're ambiguous and nonsensical, and they leave the room leaving everybody feeling like they're on their side. That's kind of like what he's doing. No, I don't really feel like he's on our side. Anyway, there are serious problems in the church, and we've known this for some time. And if you don't know, well, there are, okay? Kind of hard to go into it right now as I'm driving. It's not like I have a script in front of me. All right, let's just take some of this. There's been some very plausible signs from God of recent years, and one that just happened recently. And I already know what the people who poo-poo this stuff are saying. I don't care. I'm just going to use logic and reason, and also faith, okay, to pretty much come to a conclusion on this. All right. So Pope Benedict resigns, and the Vatican is struck by lightning. Like on that hour, I think. Okay, but it's pretty on the nose. Now, that would make me raise an eyebrow. And one, I finally learned about it, not very long ago. I think it was like a few years ago I learned about that. And it made me raise an eyebrow. Well, that's weird. And I already know that we got a lot of problems with infiltration. And Vatican II has just really opened up a lot of abuses. And, that's been clear over the years. But that happens, struck by lightning. The Pope takes his position by commemorating it by releasing doves into the air, and the doves get attacked by crows. All right, well, it might just be a coincidence still. That's weird, but, the message was, okay, releasing doves, peace, and it got attacked by crows. Nature is weird sometimes, but that's a little odd, okay? And now we have in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and his home country, a church where there is a statue of St. Peter on one side and a statue of St. Paul on the other side. And the statues look to be about human size, maybe a little bit bigger. And they're almost ground level, whereas the church stands about 40 or 50 feet high with a big lightning rod on top. And there was a gigantic storm. They even had tornadoes that night. And it was on his birthday, which I think is the 18th of December. Lightning struck, not the top of the church where the lightning rod is, but went down and struck this tiny statue near ground level and blew off St. Peter's hand, which was holding the keys to his authority as, the Pope on earth, and there's also something like maybe the halo was blown off, and now they're saying, well, the halo has been missing for a long time. And there are some saying, well, around the time it went missing, there was something else that was announced from the Vatican that maybe signified this loss of the halo. I don't know. But the blowing off of the hand. Okay, the day before the document came out, in the place where he's from, oh no, that's pretty on the nose. And just to poo-poo these multiple signs from God, I think is irresponsible. Okay? I think we should give everyone with any sort of reason, any sense of reason, to give them pause. There's been a lot of things that have come from this pontificate that have been beyond questionable. Okay? Everyone knows the Pachamama. That was a big deal. All right? Even John Paul did something that was, out of sorts when he kissed the Quran. But going with Francis, there's been one thing after another of abuses or near heretical actions. The Pachamama was probably the biggest one. And then, of course, the synod and the clamping down on, tradition and blessing and giving blessings off to the Jimmy Martins, and their ministry, and treating the Orthodox Church with more kindness and openness and dialogue than they do with, nuns who pilgrim their way from France to Rome, on foot, to seek an audience with him, and he won't even see him. That's just a small list of things, and I know it really sounds like I'm grabbing at thin air, but like I said, I'm driving and I don't have an open list in front of me, but man, there's a lot of things. There's a clear sign in this new document, which seems to me like they're trying to change the faith. They're trying to marry the faith to the modern world, which we know he's a big Vatican II guy, and he's one of these Vatican II old guards. And that was the purpose of Vatican II, which was to make it modern and marry it to the world, which we know is wrong and is a heresy. I'm not saying that everything came out of Vatican II was bad, okay? But, removing entire liturgies and just like step forwards into changing the faith. And now this document, which seems like another step forward into changing the faith. And then all these signs from which by all reasons seem to come straight from heaven. What does it mean for us as a laity at the end? Well, not much other than pray. That's it. Really take your faith seriously and know your faith and be disciplined about your prayer. Pray the rosary. Don't just pray a decade once in a while, I know some people who do that, and I don't point my finger at them or anything like that, but it's in the back of my mind, I'm always a little disappointed that they only take it about that far, a decade. I prayed a decade, and that's good, but you're meant to pray the whole thing, if you can't do all 150, which I can't even, do most of the time. I can't remember the last time I did all 150 in one day, but at least do that entire mystery, like last night it was, yesterday was Wednesday, so it was the glorious mysteries. Get through the entire thing, it's about 20 to 30 minutes, Pray some novenas, maybe do a devotion to, Mother Mary or Saint Joseph or the Holy Face of Jesus. This is what God desires of us. He desires us to pray. So if we're not doing what we're supposed to do as Catholics, as faithful Christians, then we're going to get what we deserve. And I think that's what we've been getting. And, I guess that's about it. That's all I got for my thoughts. What are your thoughts? I know nobody really watches anymore. I still got a loyal 600 some odd subscribers, which I thank you for. Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing a conversation in here, what you guys think, but, yeah. Anyway, good to talk to you guys again. I don't know when I'm going to get this video up because, the charger to my computer broke. So I don't know, maybe I can upload it on my wife's computer, her laptop, and try to get my intro and outro in there at the very least. I have gotten an assignment. We will be leaving Germany soon, which is good. And thanks be to God that we got the location that we wanted. And then it's just, counting the days until I am finally done. So, when I'm finally done, by the way, I have a lot of things I want to say. I have a lot of things I want to talk about in regards to being Catholic, being an American, being a patriot, what liberty is, what freedom is, where our country is. I have a lot of things because I've experienced a lot. I've learned a lot in the last, it's 11 years now. By the end, it'll be 13. So bear with me just a little bit longer. And I'll try to do these little impromptu, give you my thoughts while I'm driving once in a while. I have attempted it in the past, but I've always ended up deleting them because they were just garbage. Anyway, I've gotten a lot better at talking to myself now, though. So I'm the only one that wants to listen to myself nowadays anyway. All right. I love you all. God bless you, and stay rigid.